Yo, 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 what's up, it's your boy E, bringing this another unboxing and review guide. So today, we're going to be unboxing this DeckSlimmer. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. As always, if you like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Today, we're going to be unboxing this DeckSlimmer by Toyger. I've been looking forward in reviewing this specific product right here, primarily because when this came out, there were a couple of ads going around here and there, making sure that it looks super cool. I hope it delivers in its promise. So let's get right through it. Right out of the bat, we could see that this has been packaged in a decent manner. It's not covered in a specific hard case. I hope you guys can see that. Packaged in silver color, it's black. This is Japan made. Looking at the side, it says Shinzencho, Shibuyaku, Tokyo. Right, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They even have a contact for info at toyger.jp. Right out on the backhand side, there's not much going on here. It's just that it's an innovative, they're saying that it's an innovative structure in the world's first. I could say maybe it is because I haven't seen any of those, any of our deck boxes later that we're going to also do side by side. It says that it is supposedly 10.2 centimeters tall with 20.3 centimeters wide. Side would be 5.4 centimeters approximately. These are all approximate size. We can try to measure it a while ago. And yeah, I don't think there is anything else that they're saying here. They're saying it contains a large amount of cards while transforming. If the case is full, change the angle so that you can pull it in and out. And then the tray on both sides holds dice or pen. It can hold dice or pen, so we're going to test that one out. It's extra slim and says it's on high material. Alright, let's unbox. Looking at the unboxing, as you can see, there is no premium feel in terms of the unbox. It's just a cardboard box. Comes with the product, and from here on out, there's just two things inside. This is the instruction manual. It's very straightforward, and we have, I'm not sure what this is, but I'm thinking it may be a certificate when you purchase for another one, maybe a discount certificate. There is also a ID here. For the cost, we're going to run down the cost later. Alright, let's set that one aside. Cover is not that much to decipher. Let's look at the deck box. The deck box in itself, it has an embossed logo of the Toyger right here. Feels the material feels leatherette in the making. If you guys can see it, there is a slight pattern around the deck box. It is stitched on the side. I'm hoping that this is not glued in between, but kind of looks like it is. Oh no, it's actually stitched all around. So guys, if you can see that one, it's actually stitched all around. So I think that's the reason why they're saying that it's well made, because some of the products before was that in the middle it would have been like super glued and just have a stitch on top, so that it gives out a feel that it's stitched when it's not. Opening the box, it says it has 3 magnets here that holds the lid closed. I'm guessing that because it's magnet, it's not going to be super snug as other deck boxes may have. Then it still has also 2 magnets over here so that it can hold the cover on the side. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And it has a triangular receptacle on the side so that it holds the shape, and this is on. You can flip it like that so that it has a square look, and plus it has this Toyger. There's an embroidered tiger here, card separator for your sideboards. Overall, this is what it has inside. So when you buy this, it has all of these. Okay, so now it's time to test the product. What I'm going to do now is we're going to sequence the testing by testing them with your normal 60 card plus 15 sideboard, and then we're going into the commander so that we can test whether or not this is an all-around deck box. So to test, I got 2 decks right here. One which is my commander deck, one which is my standard, previously standard non-rotated deck when cards were banned recently, so yeah, that's why I didn't change it anymore. Alright, cool. That being said, let's open the box. Let's start first with the 60 card. Alright, put that one here. Let's put that one there, like the commercial says. So as you can see right here, it looks like it can fit two 75 card deck. So you can bring two. We'll test that one out later actually. Then from there, you just need to put this one right there and slide that one right here. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Fits neatly. It seems to be a 2.5 inch wide type and with an 8.5 inch long. Feels pretty solid. The only thing is that if you're jogging, then maybe, or like when you put it in your backpack and it's not full, the cards will move side by side, side to side. That is something that to be worry about or to think about. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend you getting this deck box and not putting your cards in a sleeve. So yeah, and it looks like if it's just going to be an up-down motion, it looks like it's not going to give anytime soon. Alright, sounds solid, looks solid. Okay, and then if we're going to get the cards, should be okay like that. Alright, still good to play. Shuffle the cards. If I look at the sleeves, there are no visible folding. But what I would say is that if your sleeve is the cheap ones that easily peels off, then you may not want to do that rigorous test because it will peel off. So I'm going to put this one, set this one aside. Now let's test the 60 or 100 card for the commander. Alright, cool. Let's put them in. As you can see on the top hand side, there's still a lot of leg space here, and if I slide it onto this specific angle, it will cover most of them. I think I can still slot in like 15 more cards in. Yeah. It's better if it's a bit more fuller. Yeah. And let's try these ones if it fits on the specific or the dice sets that we usually do. So for dice, let's go with the standard size and let's go with a slightly bigger size. So I got these dice which are monster protectors. I had this for a couple of years now. I believe this is a standard dice set. So let's see if it can host all of them. Alright, looks like it can host. Plus, this one is slightly bigger. This is metal casts. So if you could see the difference, slightly bigger. And let's see if it can host. Alright, okay. Looks like it can host all of them. And put them one ins right there. And right there. Close it down. Okay. Looks pretty solid. I just didn't put this one in because there's no point in putting them in because there's no division required. Overall, it feels very solid. Now it's time to compare it with all the other deck boxes around there. Let me just take out these dice. Alright, so you may need a little bit of movement in terms of like getting those big dices out. However, it still fits, so that's a plus for me. I'm going to remove now the deck. I wouldn't recommend it doing that way. I would recommend it doing this way instead. So, deck is out. Boom. Okay. Now it's time to compare it with all the other deck boxes that I have. The closest that I have for this one is this Yao's deck box. Yao's Games is made out of plastic. You're quite sure that the cards won't give because it's not magnet. It is locked with this specific plastic locked mechanism right here. The downside when I was using this deck box is that it only houses 100 cards or so with the split of 50-50, if I'm not mistaken, if you guys can see it here. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you're going on a tournament, then you're going to open this box. What you will end up doing is you're going to end up putting in 50 cards here, but since there's an overlap, the rest of your 50 cards will be, or your 60 cards will be here. So that means a part of your sideboard will be part of your main board on the side, right? So that means there's a slight chance for you to mess up in terms of like picking up the cards, your main here, and shuffling your sideboard. There are a couple of times when I did that with one during a tournament. So it will take a lot of more time, and if you haven't figured out that you've done that one, then it might result in you getting a match loss or a game loss. The other thing that I don't like about this box is that it only fits a standard size dice. So as you can see, when it's full, it's a snug fit for the dice. It houses 6. They measured it really well, which is super fine and nice. The problem here is that if you have a slightly bigger dice than the normal set, it won't fit. So that's my qualm about this one. Otherwise, in terms of like actual size, if we're just talking about size to size, the size would be in favor of Yao's Games because as you can see, this one has an inch taller, plus it is a 0.5 diameter, or no, it has a 0.5 thicker volume in terms of like this actual size. So if you're looking for sheer size, you'd go with Yao's Games. But if you're looking for size and flexibility, you would go with the Toyger because it can house even your commander decks plus your substandard or your special dice sets. Right? Okay. Let's look at the weight. In terms of the weight, if you're wondering how heavy is the Toyger, according to this weighing scale, it says 243 grams or half or 1/4 kg, if I'm not mistaken. Comparing it with the Yao's deck box, the Yao's deck box weighs about 100 grams, so there's 150 to 140, 150 gram differences. So because this is made out of plastic, if you're looking for actual weight, then go with this. But if you don't mind the slight difference for 150, you would go with the Toyger. The other upside is that when we're playing, this would be a better look if you put it in this manner to set a specific diameter or parameter for you to play. Like if this one doesn't hold that much authority. See what I mean? Right? Comparing it with the actual deck case that we have here from Ultimate Card, for a commander play 100 card box, it is thicker, an inch thicker. It's an inch thicker, but is slightly smaller, 5-inch, slightly smaller in length. Right? And the last comparison that we have is this 60 card, 60 or 75, 80 plus case from Ultimate Card. It looks like from measurement perspective, it seems to be measured against the Ultimate Card 80 plus because as you can see, it stacks up really nicely. There's just a 0.5 or no, there's just a slight millimeter difference right over there because of the outer sleeves. And then in terms of like difference in the width, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the width, right? It needs to have 1.5, it's longer by 1.5 Ultimate Card deck box. Yeah. I think the idea here is that if you have a sling bag, it fits really nicely. When you take it out, it's also elegant in that manner. It fits all of your deck box perfectly. It fits all of your dice perfectly. So yeah, So overall, what do we think about this deck box? I would say I would give it like 8.5 or 8 in terms of what it's trying to achieve. It's trying to achieve a more elegant slash slimming effect in terms of like the deck boxes. It wants to have a bit more versatility with its specific function. The make it feels that it's well made currently as I'm holding it right now. So yeah, I'd suggest you guys to pick it up. Pre-orders are now available in topdeckph.com, and if you want to have a 10% discount, just put in the discount code TDE. So yeah, guys, if you'd like to have more review videos like this and to give you more magic related products or card collectible products, please don't forget to like, subscribe. As always, this is me signing out. Stay safe.